Welcome to Mom, the spot in New York where Vietnam's fire flavor take over.
Why was there a big passion for you to make Vietnamese food?
Yeah, I was constantly eating at Vietnamese restaurants, recognized at a very early age, was like, I'm fascinated by this cuisine.
We're about to dive into a culinary adventure that will leave you craving for more.
So it's illegal actually to buy and trade live snails in America.
Their chefs are masters of Vietnam's culinary game, serving up dishes that will transport you straight to the streets of Hanoi.
Hindi niya alam. Pinoy tayo. We also have balut. Bigger balut pa. Mas malaki yung balut natin.
I'm excited to take you guys on this journey, so buckle up. This is Fork on the Road. Mom, the hottest Vietnamese restaurant in New York, located at 74th Side Street, New York City. Let's go check this place out.
Hi Gerald, what's up brother? How are you?
What's up, man? How are you?
Please introduce yourself.
I am Gerald Head, chef owner of Mom in New York City.
Nice. Can you please give me a quick background, or give us a quick background on where the idea of Mom came from?
Sure. Unfortunately, my wife couldn't be with us today. But yeah, we met in 2015. It was my first trip to Vietnam.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it was kind of, at least for me, it was definitely love at first sight. I was just enamored by, how beautiful she was. And I tried to flex the little Vietnamese that I knew at the time. And just called out to her. I was like, oh, chị đẹp quá, which means like, I called her big sister at the time.
Okay.
The hierarchy in Vietnamese language of how it works. And I didn't quite understand that at the time, but I would address her as my big sister. And I was like, oh, you're so beautiful. And yeah, fast forward, 5 to 6 years later, we had already gotten married. We're going through the green card process, which took some time, especially through the pandemic. We got lucky in 2020, sometime like towards the late end of summer. She was able to migrate here. And yeah, and then we were just at the house cooking, unemployed, myself, and we had an opportunity.
This is during the pandemic?
Yeah, this is 2020.
Okay.
And had an opportunity to take over as a pop-up this space, actually the 74th site, when it was another restaurant on the weekend nights. And we did it just for fun. We had this dish that we were cooking, bún đậu mắm tôm, which you'll have today.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, we were just doing it for fun. We were just at home cooking. So it was like, yeah, why not like get out the house a little bit and, just try it out to see.
Oh, wow.
Never anticipated it to take off in the way that it did. But yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, what brought you to Vietnam?
Oh man, dude, I have been cooking at that time in 2015. I had probably been cooking Viet food for about 5 years or so.
Oh, okay.
And I just knew that next step, like if I'm going to further my knowledge of Vietnamese food, that I needed to travel there.
What made you, what connected you to Viet? Why was there a big passion for you to make Vietnamese food?
Yeah, much how I entered the restaurant industry, once I graduated high school, it was a big question of like, what do I want to do with my life?
Yeah.
I was already working in a restaurant environment, and I recognized that this is what I love to do.
Nice.
And then along that path, somebody had gifted me a Vietnamese cookbook. And I was just like reading it from front to back. It was Charles Fahn's Slanador from San Francisco. And I was just reading it from front to back, and I was constantly eating at Vietnamese restaurants, recognized at a very early age, was like, I'm fascinated by this cuisine. So much like me following my cooking career, it was like, just do what makes me happy.
Nice.
And I followed that.
Oh, okay. What's the biggest challenge since you guys opened a Vietnamese restaurant here in New York City? And people are not used to seeing dishes like this. What was the biggest challenge during that time, and how did you overcome it?
Well, it's not even about, the people experiencing the type of food that we're doing.
Yeah.
I would say the biggest challenge for us as operators is navigating through all of the red tape that New York has in terms of like business operators. I think, we're still trying to figure out how to overcome that or just like navigate through that as there's so much red tape. Just trying to be by the book as much as possible and like play by the rules that New York set, for us. But yeah, and then other than that, we are cooking Vietnamese cuisine, which, being in New York City is a completely different environment than in Vietnam. So sourcing product is also very huge for us. So we often fly back to Vietnam and fill up boxes and then bring it back to the States.
Nice. So what's next? What's next for Mom?
Well, at least for Mom, I think it's just trying to strike a level of consistency. I think the biggest dream when we started and we first took over this lease initially was, we wanted to turn this into like a little Vietnam. New York doesn't really have that. And since 2020 and the type of attention that we get from our Vietnamese guests, every year or every month or day even, it seems like it's more of a reality of turning this into like a little Vietnam or being that hub of like Vietnamese culture and cuisine.
Nice.
For everybody to experience.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, Gerald, thank you so much for the sit down, brother.
Yeah.
I guess the biggest question now, I'm excited and I know the viewers are excited to ask you, what dish are you going to make for us?
Oh, I got a menu for you guys today. Yeah, for sure you will see bún đậu mắm tôm.
Oh.
It is our staple
Say it
with
again.
bún đậu mắm tôm. Bún đậu mắm tôm.
Nam dom.
Yeah, that was close enough. That was close enough.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely,
you.
man. Absolutely.
Alrighty.
Mam is more than just a restaurant. It is a community. Warm and welcoming staff are always happy to share their stories about their food and culture and history.
These are stuffed snails. Apu. Apu. Yeah.
Okay.
So these are stuffed snails that we are actually getting from Vietnam, frozen and cooked. In America, land snails are seen as an invasive species.
What does that mean exactly?
Invasive species in the sense that it will
Destroy the
populate,
environment?
it'll eat all of our plants or whatever, and it's really hard to contain.
Okay.
So in America, we're not allowed to buy trade these alive. So we're getting these from Vietnam, cooked and frozen, repurposing them and mixing them in an aromatic pork sausage, and then stuffing them back into the shell. So
Perfect.
yeah,
So you're making food taste good and you're helping the environment.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Perfect. There we go. Well, guys, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this because I know I'm gonna mess it up, but it looks delicious. You heard it from Chef Gerald. All the delicious goodness of Vietnamese food. I'm excited. All right. So it kind of reminds me of home, Vietnamese, Thailand, Philippines. We're all in the same kind of category of food. We kind of use the same spices, same ingredients. So this reminds me of home. So I'm excited. Look at this. Let's do it, guys. Here we go. Oh, wow. First time trying quail balut.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for joining us on Mam, where Vietnam's flavor come alive in the heart of New York. This is Fork on the Road.